welcome back to the Chop Up. What episode?
Number 9.
Episode number 9.
Ball is rolling.
Yeah, we're headed towards that number 20.
That's right.
Will asked us earlier, why the hell 20? Like
Dustin set us up with that goal.
He put us on a goal of 20, so we're almost halfway there. So
we're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
We're doing it.
All right, so we're gonna grab a couple questions from the last episode. We have here Aaron Nigel. He says, would be great to hear from all the Lincoln Crew team on one episode, digging all the content. That stuff is definitely coming. You know, we're
listening to you.
Yeah, we're listening. It's the whole COVID thing. You know, basically right now we have, Jordan, myself, Dustin, and Frankie in the office. So we can do these things, but the other guys, are still working remote. As things ease up with the virus, we will definitely get, Davey in here. We're going to get Damaso down here from Spokane. I definitely want to, sit down with him, have him go through some stuff. Same with Brandon. So, yeah, that's coming. Worst case scenario, if we can't get together in the next couple months, we're going to try and plan a retreat towards the middle to end of the year where we're all at one house, maybe like a round table.
That'd be cool.
Chop up, which would be super rad.
Be awesome.
Thank you guys for all the comments.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys out there, always listening and coming with something new.
Yeah.
Thanks for being active on there.
Yeah, there's some good stuff on here. I think we're gonna do a chop up episode and address, because there's a lot of good questions. A lot of them are pretty in depth, where it's not a quick answer.
Right. Might take us some time to bring in some information for you.
Exactly. So I think we're gonna do an episode where all three of us sit down. We'll get Dustin down here and we run through 25 questions and address those, because there's some great topics to speak on. So
definitely.
Yep. So that'll be coming. For today, Jordan and I are down here, and we're going to dig into a project that was a good one. It was a big shocker, big client, Google. So Google reached out, which was, obviously you get a call from Google, you're like, oh shit. So
the big leagues.
Yeah, that was a shocker and exciting. They're like, hey, can we set up a meeting, stop by the office, kind of speak to what we're thinking about? And I'm thinking, oh damn, they're going to fly up from San Francisco, and then come to find out that it's Google Cloud. And so they basically wanted this basically a large kit of like graphics and badges and patterns. Some of it was going to be used in-house at their office here in Portland. The other half was going to get used and basically build out merch for those shows.
Yep.
So they came by. The brief was very vague. It was like, we want a bunch of different styles. We want this and that. So a lot of times when a client kind of approaches it at that angle and there isn't like a clear path, we'll send over mood boards, where we try and nail down at least a starting point.
Right. It helps for us so we can get them on board with an idea, or, instead of us just going and throwing something at the wall and hoping it sticks.
Yeah. Because they were like, we just want a bunch of stuff. And it was like, okay, well, we need a starting point, So what you're seeing here, we'll kind of scroll through basically the mood boards we sent over. So we broke it down based on our conversation to, I think it was 6 or 8 different categories. Page 1 through 4, I think, these are just badge lockups from, other designers, apparel brands, stuff like that. And then from there, we broke it down to character art. Because there was this vibe that they came with, like, we definitely want some character art. We want it to be fun, colorful. Their logo is, up there. It's kind of got, a bunch of different colors in it. It's the cloud. So they wanted to keep it fresh and fun.
Yep.
So character art was definitely going to be in the mix.
Some energy to it.
Yeah. So here's, a couple pages of character art. We got some of the Lincoln mascots in there. And then I encourage, if you're going to do mood boards like this, sprinkle in a little bit of your work here and there.
Totally.
And see if, maybe get some comments back that are like, hey, we like everything but this one. Mm-hmm. And you're like, well, that one's mine.
Well, I guess I'm not going to do it in that style.
Right? And you're like, oh shit. Okay, well, damn it. Or hopefully they go, hey, we like all these, but that one is like amazing. That snake around the pencil, like. So moving on now, this next set was fun and silly. This is where they wanted to keep it light. So we're showing, stuff that's a little bit different than our style. I mean, that top right one with the thumb giving the thumbs up, and the thumb has another thumb like
comedy.
That was a piece for Nitro Circus that I think Brandon worked on. So
nice.
Yeah. You got some Nike, Nick Jr. pieces. So this is a style that right out the gate we probably wouldn't come with.
But you can see how it translates into the Google style.
Yeah, and
you'll
see
the flat
how we
colors
exactly.
Yep.
And you'll see how we kind of took this part of the brief and incorporated it into the final design. So without them approving this fun and silly mood board section, though, we probably wouldn't have went in that direction. So hand drawn style.
One color stuff. Classic.
Yep. So this stuff didn't resonate as well. There's some of it mixed in, but.
And that's probably where they thought, we want this colorful and, full of energy and all
we're
that,
showing them black and white.
Right.
Like,
they might not see how that translates.
Exactly. And then one of their, the pieces they really wanted in the end was mural. Like they wanted a couple patterns that they could use throughout their headquarters. So there's some examples of mural art from, you got Morning Breath and Mike Giant and some of those guys in here. Which this is, some of those bottom pieces are what we delivered. And then typography, of course, can't go wrong. Got to have some type.
Some scripts, yep.
Scripts all day.
Yeah, we showed a big variety here.
Mm-hmm. So more typography, scripts.
Monoline stuff and 3D stuff, and
which we used, and we did a bunch of monoline work and stuff like that. So
it's like that was like one maybe of the pieces where they're like, hey, we really dig this piece, do a few based on that. So we're like, all right, that was great.
Yeah, which points you in a direction. The more you can get from the client and at least head in a somewhat of a direction,
100%,
the better. So yeah, it was good. They pulled out pieces from this and kind of sent them back. We're like, hey, this looks good. So we had a direction. There's this bright pop section, which this ended up, kind of the whole color palette and everything we went with was very colorful, pulling from the logo, which kind of comes back to this section.
Yep, poppy.
Yeah. And then the last mood board was the glitch section. So this was like the only, kind of the only mood boards in the section that we didn't do. That they were like, nope, that doesn't. It's not hitting.
Doesn't feel like the brand, I guess. So which is fine. I mean, we totally get it. We just wanted to show, like what our range is and what's possible out there, and they might have bid on that. You never know.
So moving on. So comps round one. So this, I mean, like I said, they wanted a bunch. It was a big project. The ask was pretty large. So this was like a team effort, and everyone, basically got the brief. You got Google Cloud. It's fun computing in the cloud.
Got the color palette to start with. Got the logo to use if you needed it.
Yep. And it's kind of like go for it, have fun. Get silly with it. Keep it light, keep it fresh, keep it fun. You'll kind of see that, with this page one. Kind of got the polka dot dog on here, which is super fun.
Yeah, left field, it's like, where'd that guy come from? But thing's fun, man.
The smiley face rainbow, that's super fun.
Totally. Good use of the color.
Yeah. I think this is some of Dustin's stuff. You got kind of the quirky, wiggly type. Definitely old school sign.
Yeah, I love
Google
that.
Cloud, yeah. I mean, it was cool because you had two words to work with. It wasn't just Google. It was Google Cloud. So it always helps.
And then if you needed the logo as a little filler too, you could pop that in a pocket or.
Yep. Here's a little bit more of the hand drawn, looser feel.
Yep.
You did some of these, right?
Yeah, that was my page.
Yeah. And patterns. And so we presented, I think, 4 or 5 different patterns that Jordan did. They ended up kind of landing on one at the end. And then the cloud, it's kind of like, what can you do with the cloud? It's, it's a cool, fun, general shape.
At least it's an element to work with. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah. And the idea of storage, like, I don't know how, like Dustin right there, he made a sign. So maybe in his mind he was thinking like, oh, this is where you store your stuff. Store your stuff here or whatever, So just little concepts to build off of.
Exactly. This was a favorite one of mine.
Yeah, I like that one too. It was fun.
Yeah, it's kind of the blue and white pattern. You got, I think we had a reference for something similar to this, and you have the monoline, you have the little computer and the Google Cloud words, and you got the clouds going across with the download folder. And that, I think that would have been a great one for the headquarters.
Right.
For sure. You got the file folder running. Can't go wrong with anything running,
Funny. It's fast too, and then, the cloud is moving quick.
Exactly.
All your files are going fast.
They're going up and downloading and uploading fast, so that top left with the sheen in the color.
Oh, yeah.
Super cool.
Good shadow on there.
And then using the word, Google. I think everybody's seen the word Google, on their web browser. Redone so many different ways with different things. So that was a challenge. But some of this stuff is just Google instead of Google Cloud. And then boom, that's the banger pattern.
Yep.
This is page 33 here. So this is the one they were super into. Super fun. You broke up the word Google, kind of threw it around.
Yep.
It's almost like what they call a toss pattern, where you can rotate that pattern any which way.
Yeah.
They're easier to use when for a client or whatever.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that had some energy to it, but it fits into a little bit of a nostalgic kind of vibe too.
Yeah. Who did the donuts?
I don't know.
The
that was
donut.
good.
Yeah, the donuts. You
I
got
don't
the
know.
two donuts.
Maybe
for
Dust. I think it might have been
maybe
Dust.
that might be Dustin. Yeah, for the Google O's. Did you do the blimp there? Is that
Yeah,
you?
I did the blimp.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you think about everything in the cloud, what exists in the cloud, throw a blimp in there. Why not, right?
Yep. Air, clouds,
Yep.
whatever, flight,
Exactly.
That's where it was pretty damn broad.
Yeah.
At least we narrowed down the mood boards, but other than that, as far as there being content, no. It was pretty wide open.
Yeah.
So, and they were have fun with it.
Yeah,
get
that was
silly.
awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Do whatever you want.
Which from that brief, their main thing was the silly part's great. So just go
Yep.
wild. You know?
And this is stuff I would have never done, had I not seen that brief.
Right.
Or,
Yeah.
Even this project, it was just
For sure.
totally different style for us, totally something new. And
Yep.
it was good. It was a challenge, but it was also cool, guys, let's try something different, and I think it turned out great.
Yeah, it was fun. And you got the G, the walking G with the flag. You got the Google, the A-OK.
Classic.
Google hand.
I love his expression on his little eyes.
You're right.
He's just, chilling.
Is that you top right with the Google Cloud?
Yeah, the badge piece. Yep. It's a little scientific looking, I don't even know what you would call that thing, an orb or something, but yeah.
Selling the techie
Yep.
side. Yep.
Exactly.
Pattern on the left that you did, right?
Yep.
Kind of that old school look.
Totally. Looks like a bowling alley or something.
Yep. That top right Google hand drawn, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Just
that.
enough looseness and bustedness but it still works.
Yeah. It's not a font, that thing's hand drawn. I love that.
Exactly.
So you got the sun with the cloud with sunglasses?
Yeah.
Dang it. That's fun.
The feet on that one, I'm how do I draw this guy's feet
Yeah.
to make him look like he's moving, you
That's-
want him to have a little attitude, so
That's great.
a little curve on the legs help.
Yep.
Some swag.
That's you with the rocket, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Little
remember that
shotgun.
one. Yeah, because they like that one. You got the rocket with the hand coming out the
Yep.
window, a little shock on that thing.
I like Davey's script there on that Google
is cool.
the Google script piece.
Yeah, with the cloud and then the
Yeah.
Google interlocking.
It's the 4-color mono line. I don't
Yeah.
even know how you do that, Davey. You crazy man.
Right.
You'll have to explain that when you're on here one day.
Totally. And that's where, some of the stuff you can tell is a little bit challenging because you have 5 different colors,
Right.
Which at times works great and creates this cool, kind of rainbow effect. But at other times, that type with all those colors, that's tough.
Yep.
The hot air balloon, sky's the limit, you could say on all this.
Yep. All the things coming with all the stops.
What do you got? That's
Put
up
some
in the
wings
sky.
on the G.
Yeah,
That thing's in the clouds. We're up
Yeah.
there, man.
Yeah.
Flying.
And then you got the hot air balloon with
Yep.
the happy face, so.
Throw in the thumbs up, man.
mhm.
A little different
That's
version.
That's a winner. And then the Google Cloud Man.
Standing on the clouds.
Yeah. So we were trying to create, some kind of mascot, some kind of Google Cloud character. So it went in a bunch of different directions. Damaso did a couple cool pieces. Davey, and you did a couple.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, everybody kind of threw down a couple characters,
Yeah,
just to get them in the mix.
all different styles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even this one, which page 42, the computer, old school computer guy.
With the spinner hat.
Yeah, the spinner hat.
I'm how do I make this
Yeah.
guy in the clouds? All right,
Yeah.
let's put a spinner hat on him. Now he's up there.
And then now you got your colors and
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
threw your colors
exactly.
in from the logo as
Yep.
well. So it's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Who did the balloon type?
Me.
Is that you?
Yep, this
Yeah,
page is me
okay,
too. Yep,
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's fun. They ended up loving that piece. and
Yep.
That's simple,
Yeah, back to it again, thinking about how to get
Yeah.
all these ideas up there.
Yep. Yeah, so this next page, 43, that bottom right kind of glitched out. I don't know,
8-bit.
Yeah, basically 8-bit Google Cloud. They were super hyped on that. I think that was a Davey piece.
Yeah.
That ended up being on some tees and whatnot at their convention.
Straight out of a video game, man. That's cool.
Damaso with the illustration of the spaceman.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Damaso usually comes with something a little bit left field, a little bit out there.
Yep.
Like we're doing, one thing and we're messing around the clouds, and then Damaso goes up in space. Right?
Exactly.
I'm going to take it a step higher, exactly. Step further. And the illustration a step above.
Crazy, too.
Yeah, so
look at that thing,
this thing's rad.
The perspective is so cool.
And the rolls on his legs and his pants, like that space suit.
Money.
Yeah. Yeah, this was one of the big pieces that they wanted as final art. So.
Like that would be cool on a wall, blown up huge.
For sure. Yeah.
Great piece.
Yeah. Some different badges, some monoline type.
Tying back to those scripts from the
from the mood boards. Yep. I mean, you can tell by looking at going through those mood boards in the beginning, you can kind of see where some of this was pulled from.
Yeah,
you got
some pieces were inspired by certain pieces, and
for sure. Yep. Which the client said, hey, we like these pieces, this direction. Go for it. So this one on the left again is Damaso. You got the cloud raining on the tree with the glasses, and
so good.
Yeah, so funny. Who did this top right one?
I think that's Brandon.
Did Brandon do that?
Yeah,
I think so. Because I think Brandon was busy with some skateboards.
He got in at last minute.
He only did a couple pieces in this whole kit, but that's definitely a Brandon piece right there. That melting, dripping cloud with the banners. Page 47. Damn.
Yep.
That's different.
Even just a little shadow on the cloud. It's like the 2-color.
Yeah.
Yep, with the black line.
That's fun. And then Damaso with the Google type. They all have legs. They're holding hands, like walking across the screen.
They're all buddies. And that one looks like it would, stand on the front page of Google.
It does.
Like right above the search bar. Like one day they had a certain theme. So
for sure. Yeah. And then this one.
Different.
Different.
Yep.
Damaso with that kind of marker drawing in Photoshop.
Yep.
Like, it's cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
This is fun.
More of the cloud work. Yeah, cloud characters. Davey, you got the cloud sitting on top of the cloud. Like that's fun.
It's super trippy, but it's like it's kind of like meta. Like what's going on here? Man?
Yeah.
They both have a face too.
Yeah, exactly.
This
was Brandon's too.
Yep.
Yeah. The big type in the clouds. The Google.
Totally.
Page 51.
Chunky
This
3D.
That was basically the initial kickoff kit that we sent them. So
first round.
Yeah, first round.
It's a lot.
It was big and heavy.
Yeah,
it was. But that's what.
How long do you think we spent on that?
What did we spend on that? It was like, I want to say, similar to a lot of the projects here, where you guys, you'll spend like 2 days, and then you'll move on to a different piece, and then come back like a couple days later.
Yeah.
I'd say all in all, it was probably like a 3 days total.
Yeah.
Everyone had.
Yeah.
So you would work on it 3 days, dust in 3 days, usually at the same time. But I would say it was about every guy got to kick in about 3 days.
Yeah.
Worth of work on that. And then we basically send that over, have a meeting, kind of go through what they liked, what they didn't like. They're very specific and limited changes as far as like, oh, we don't like what this guy looks like or the color or anything like that.
It was almost like we want this as is.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah, it was like, hey, we want this whole collection here, this, circle, delete these, and we're good to go. So,
gosh, that is nice sometimes.
It is.
When it's very clear and moving forward is easy.
Yeah. Yeah, so you'll see here in this final kit, a lot of stuff didn't change, maybe some little color things here, tightening this up or that, but for the most part, like this pattern, this first page, this is Jordan's pattern. They love this thing. This
stayed the same.
They're going to wrap a couple walls in the office with this, and it pretty much is as is. Davey's Google Cloud guy sitting on the cloud. This did change. You can see the kind of the mouse and stuff, though. They got a little bit happier. They're having more fun.
Yep.
They had some comments on the mouth and the expression. So the guy up top smiling, guy on the bottom looks like he's having a great time. So that was kind of their only.
That one made it to some merch as well, I think, too.
Yeah, that was on hats and everything. And then this one with the character of the cloud walking, we showed them options with the eyes open, eyes closed, smile, not smile. So
yeah, that's a good one, though.
Yeah.
They had to get it right,
Yeah, exactly.
If they're going to take it, they better nail it.
And this is one of 2 full kind of badge kits. So everyone has something in here. Jordan, you got a bunch of pieces in here. So just a full range of, type, character art, badges, scripts. You got some hand style. You got some super clean stuff.
And since you have the consistent color scheme, it really brings everything together at the end of the day. Regardless if the execution styles are different or whatever it might be, that color scheme brings it back to home.
Color palette can make or break.
Totally.
Your design, your branding, whatever that is, it can definitely, it can make or break it, and that's why a lot of times we'll try and show, if we can, first rounds in black and white, because the color can just ruin it for somebody if you can't look past it.
Exactly. You don't want to get hung up on that, or want them to get hung up on that.
Damaso's piece, made it as one of the final pieces.
Banger.
Yep. No changes there. Just you got your astronaut cruising on the moon. And then, so I was wrong. So they wanted Google, so it just said cloud. And so they basically wanted Google, Google added.
Yep.
I think almost all of them. They wanted it to be Google Cloud instead of just Google.
Sure.
So
be more specific.
Yeah. So Damaso added the Google in the similar style.
That fits in there nice too, right? That little pocket.
Yep. Yeah.
Hanging G.
Same kind of wonky little style there.
Yep. It's got that down.
Yep. And then this last page, you can see kind of some of the merch at their show in the background, and the guy selling product and everything. So it was cool.
Yeah. Super fun project.
Fun project. Yeah. It was cool that they were local, had an office here in Portland, so we could actually meet with them in person.
Yep.
So yeah, it ended up working out great.
Yeah, it was like one of those dream projects that you didn't know was coming, it comes knocking, and you're like, wait, we get to do this today?
Yeah.
Google?
Yeah. And then it goes smooth, and they're cool to work with.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. It was awesome, man.
Yeah, it was good.
Really good one.
Yeah, good fit. Good project.
Totally.
We're going to move on to the Great Pacific Northwest, the Great PNW.
That's right.
So, totally different.
Our neck of the woods.
Yeah, totally different client, totally different experience and kind of design.
New brief new everything, yeah.
Everything was a bit different on this one, but super cool. How did we meet these guys? Joel. So Joel runs the Great PNW out of Spokane, Washington.
And back when we did our booth at the moto show, the one moto show.
Oh yeah.
Joel ended up coming up to our booth, and he actually bought one of our portfolio books, and that's kind of how we were introduced to him. He met us through that, and,
that's right.
And basically we kept a relationship with him from that point.
Yep.
He ended up coming to Crop Pop-Up in Portland, and he remembered us all, and so we shot the shit. And then at the end of the day, Dustin and I went out for beers with him, and great dude, just had a great time, and basically built that relationship up. And so stayed in contact with him and kept watching what he was doing. He kept watching what we were doing, and that's kind of how it sparked up.
Yeah. Yeah, and then at some point he was like, "Hey, let's do a kind of collab apparel package, for the Great PNW. You guys design it, we'll produce it, we'll cross market it, and sell it. You guys can sell X amount, we'll get the other half, we'll sell, ours on our site, and
no brainer.
And, vice versa." So it was like, yeah, cool, let's do it. So his whole company, the Great Pacific Northwest, is like an outdoor clothing company. So everything, is based on the trees, the mountains, hiking, outdoors, stuff like that. So so we were like, okay, let's do basically 3 T-shirts, 1 long sleeve, 2 hoodies. We had 2 beanies, 2 hats, a ski mask, 2 pairs of socks, and then like a camp mug. We basically sent him this template with no graphics on it.
Right.
We're like, hey, these are the pieces. What do you think? What is this going to cost? And we kind of all agreed, okay, cool, well, let's do this. Let's produce all this.
And now we have like a canvas to design on, basically, once that was approved.
Yep. This one here on page 3, this is yours, right?
Yep.
The badge walk-up. Yep. We had a bunch of these here, and they sold out super quick. This was the one design. We have the one with the cat, and that thing hung around for a bit, but this one is clean badge.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just classic wearable shit, know? Yep.
And some of the challenge was that we were trying to do this kind of tagline, this theme, this run wild outdoor, at the same time including our name and his name.
Oh, yeah.
So you're trying to get Lincoln Design in there. You're trying to get the Great Pacific Northwest or the
collaboration.
Great PNW. Yeah. So like this one, Jordan handled it, well, and it has basically everything that's needed, and it looks clean, simple, It's a great little piece. And then, moving on to this one, Brandon did the illustration of the tiger with the bolt in his mouth.
Classic.
Yeah.
The pose and everything is just classic.
So this one we didn't put our name. We just put our logo on the front of it. So it has like both logos. So onto this third one, the long sleeve, which you'll see this on the sleeve where it has, upper left is one of their taglines, their logo, basically the cat head that we did, and then the Lincoln logo.
Yep. Got to come with the sleeve hit, right?
Yep, you got that, and that's like double sleeve hit. I think it ended up only having one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the thing with doing an apparel package. You try and blow it out, and you're like, I want to hit here and there, and back, front, inside shirt when you pull it up, and then at some point you look at the cost,
budget,
and you go, well, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll just do one hit.
Let's do one sleeve hit.
We'll do one color here.
Yeah.
We'll do the
Exactly. So I think this ended up going down to one sleeve hit in the big front hit. So we did the T. The take a trip tee that Damaso did with the Winnebago.
Love
on
it,
there.
man.
Yeah.
The PNW on the side, but inspired by the Winnebago. Yeah,
that thing's rad.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Super good.
That's actually that one right there. Yeah.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, take a trip. So Damaso's illustration of the Winnebago. So who did? Is that Dustin with?
That's Dustin.
It is with the big crest and the rope.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a great one.
It's a good piece.
And then we have this patch sweatshirt. So you got the front hit with the big back patch on in there.
It's a unique piece.
Yeah.
You know, like the bolts coming off of the head of the Panther. It's like something you might not see every day. So
right.
It's definitely unique. I like it.
Yeah. And then we moved on to the hats, which we have these here, which these ended up, when designing the hat, he was able to do full custom, hats and cut and sew and everything on the hats, which was cool. So we had that, that capability. And then we have on the back our logo and his logo, which is kind of cool. So those turned out good.
It's the little details,
Yeah. We couldn't keep those in stock. This hat flew off the shelf.
Classic look.
Yeah. And then you'll kind of see on this next page. So we ended up narrowing it down to one beanie, and then the face mask, and then the camp mug, which we didn't end up producing the camp mug. But we had visions for the two beanies and the full,
two
type,
color.
full embroidery type and the whole deal, Ended up just going with some tag hits on that, which is cool. It makes it clean.
Yeah, wearable.
Yeah.
Yep. Classic.
And then socks. So you can't go wrong with the socks.
Yep.
So I think Dustin designed these. You got the Run Wild, two different socks, reversed. You got the black up top and then the black on the bottom on the other sock with both of our logos.
It's awesome.
So these socks are great. They're super thick.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like high.
Yep.
High water like socks.
They make some quality socks.
Yep. So we're definitely this next
get another
collab,
couple pairs of those or something.
We got to do socks again. So moving on here, you kind of see some of the changes. So we sent over this whole kit to them, and they came back with some changes. Great ideas, great changes. We ended up getting rid of some of the sleeve hits.
That one turned to one color.
Yeah, one color. Yep. Yeah. So you got the embroidery on the face mask, which didn't end up happening, and then you see the multiple beanies. So the hats stayed the same, which is cool. And then the tees, we ended up changing the color, like on that tee, just so we didn't have too much black.
Yep.
Start getting excited with the black.
I know.
Everything looks so good on black, and then
we know we always want to wear black tee too.
And it's going to sell.
Yep.
So you're kind of like, I don't want to put my design on like the green tee because it's not going to sell based on the color.
Exactly.
And then people are like, oh, your design sucked. Well, the shirt was green.
Well, we offered to put it on black.
Yeah. So it's always a battle. Even here when we're making like new merch or a new tee or something, it's always like, shit, should we do another black tee? But it sells. Because we've done some white tees, and they don't.
They
sell.
sit there.
Yeah, they sit there. So we basically sent those over, kind of agreed on all those changes, passed off the files to Joel, and then he got everything produced.
Yeah.
And then he came back and he was like, hey, we're gonna do this whole promo. We're gonna have a billboard in Spokane with your artwork on it. And it was like, a billboard?
Kick ass.
Like, no shit? Like this kind of billboard?
Like the real thing?
He's like, yeah, for sure. So he sent us this. It's like a mini billboard, which is actually the artwork that was on the billboard in Spokane. So some of these photos here show that, it was right above a Dutch Brothers coffee, which was cool.
Traffic going through that thing, I'll tell you.
Tons of traffic, yeah. So it was cool to have our logo up on that big billboard for, I think it ran for like a month or something.
Super cool.
Yeah, and then they were able to, basically the billboard people, I guess, print 2 copies. So they gave one to Joel, which is what you're seeing here. That was hung on the side of it was a bar. They had a party at this bar.
Crazy.
We didn't end up going up there for the launch, which kind of sucks. I forgot what was going on, but we didn't make it up. And so they had a whole launch party and hung this banner up on the building.
It's so much bigger than you think in real life.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, a billboard, yeah, exactly. Once you get that thing down on the ground,
giant,
that banner, you gotta have a couple people.
So you think they print 2 just in case they mess up on the
I think
install
they might,
on the first one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Because you kind of see that material. It's not.
You could puncture a hole and rip that thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here's the full collection, the photo shoot that, so then Joel and the Great PNW in-house handled the photo shoot and the product photography, which they have great photography.
Super great stuff.
We met, he came down with, I don't think his business partner, but his photographer and buddy, and he's a super cool guy. And so I think he shot everything, shot the video. And
it makes a big difference.
Huge difference. They have a huge warehouse up there, and so they basically brought in a white van, skated, mood
set
lighting,
up a vibe.
Yep, yeah, and you get these bitchin' photos. So.
Yeah, that sells, man. Like you see it in photos, and it just helps sell it so much.
Like those Run Wild socks.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah. So
I love the alternate color too. That's sweet.
Yeah. So the hats, you got the tees. Yeah. So it ended up being a great collection. They sold out, we sold out, and
yeah, it was an awesome partnership.
Yeah, it was cool. So that is the Great PNW. So look for more on that. That'll be coming.
They're a good one.
Yeah, they are. Yep. Great group of people. So, alrighty. So I think that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Or wait, don't we have one more thing? Got a product or
something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shit. So last episode we highlighted Division Co. and talked about these banners that Division Co. made for us in the past. So he reached out and he was like, "Hey, great episode, and I'm like, "Hey, perfect timing. We are actually out of the draw shit banners. Like, can you do a new run?" So he is currently reprinting these. So we'll have these back in stock. And then we sold out of the draw shit hat that basically has this exact same thing on here, that white hat.
Dang.
Yeah. So those are gone and those are being produced. So in the next probably about 2 weeks, we'll have both these back in stock.
Cool.
So. Check out the store. They'll be up online again for sale here soon. So
right on.
Yeah, check it out. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys' support on the apparel and product side.
Yeah, big time.
Cool. Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, what do we gotta do? We gotta ring the bell, smash the button.
Yep. The notification, all the likes, all that, comment. Soon we're going to get an animation that just replaces this whole section where we talk all awkwardly.
Yeah,
it's
right.
just going to be like, bing, do your thing or whatever, but we're still doing it.
We need something like that, yeah. So, yeah, if you guys can give us a follow, whatever.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all out there. We really do.
We'd be stoked. So, until next time, thank you guys.